The frost-bitten wind greeted us early in the morning as we broke camp near the edge of the plateau. Lysara handed me a piece of ether-infused bread, its faint glow promising enough energy to sustain me through the day ahead. "The Shardstone's power is settling within you," she said as we packed. "You will begin to feel its effects more clearly now. The light you carry is no longer just a tool, it is part of you." I nodded, though I wasn't entirely sure what that meant. Since absorbing the Shardstone yesterday, the ether felt closer, more vibrant. It moved through me with less resistance, as though the shard was breaking down a barrier I hadn't realized was there. But I also felt a heaviness, a sense of being watched. The shadow wasn't far behind. Our path took us deeper into the broken pass, where the icy terrain gave way to a series of narrow gorges. The wind howled through the cracks in the stone, carrying with it faint echoes of the whispers. "We're being herded," Lysara said as we paused at the entrance to one of the gorges. "Herded?" I asked, my grip tightening on the shard. "The shadow wants to draw us into a trap," she explained. "But it underestimates us." She knelt, tracing a rune into the frost-covered ground. As the symbol glowed faintly, she motioned for me to stand close. "This will mask our presence for a short time. We must use the opportunity to outmaneuver whatever waits ahead." The rune held, dampening the whispers as we navigated the twisting paths of the gorge. The walls were steep, coated in frost that shimmered faintly in the dim light. The shard pulsed softly against my chest, its light dim but steady, as though conserving its strength. As we moved, a faint sound caught my ear, a deep rhythmic rumble, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. "Do you hear that?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Lysara nodded. "The ether flows beneath us. The shadow has corrupted this place, but the light still lingers. We may be able to use it." The gorge opened into a vast frozen cavern, its walls glittering with crystalline ice. At the center of the chamber was a pool of still dark water, its surface reflecting the faint glow of the ice above. "The ether converges here," Lysara said. "But so does the shadow. Be ready." As we stepped into the cavern, the whispers surged, louder than before. "You cannot escape," they hissed, their voices weaving through the air like a poison. "This place will be your tomb." The surface of the pool began to ripple, and from its depths emerged a creature unlike anything I'd seen before. It was massive, its body a twisted amalgamation of ice and shadow. Spines of blackened frost jutted from its back, and its eyes burned with a cold, malevolent light. Lysara didn't hesitate. Her blade sang through the air as she charged, striking at the creature's legs. Ice shattered with each blow, but the creature barely seemed to notice. I raised the shard, its light flaring as I summoned a barrier to block a sweeping attack. The ether flowed through me more easily now, responding to my intent with a clarity I hadn't felt before. The creature roared, its voice shaking the cavern. The flakes of ice erupted from the ground, forcing us to dodge. Lysara moved with grace, weaving between the attacks as she struck at the creature's exposed joints. "Focus on the shard," she shouted. "Its light is the only thing that can pierce the shadow's heart." I closed my eyes, centering myself on the shard's pulse. The ether surged through me, its warmth pushing back the cold. I raised my hand, channeling the shard's energy into a lance of light. The creature turned toward me, its icy maw opening in a guttural roar. I released the energy, the lance of light striking the creature square in the chest. The shadows recoiled, hissing and writhing as the light tore through them. Lysara seized the opportunity, her blade flashing as she struck a decisive blow. The creature let out a final shuddering roar before collapsing, its form dissolving into mist. The cavern fell silent, the only sound the faint hum of the ether beneath us. The shard pulsed brightly, its light filling the space with warmth. "You are beginning to understand your power," Lysara said as she approached. "That thing, was it drawn here because of us?" I asked, still catching my breath. "Partly," she admitted. "But its presence also means the shadow is growing bolder. It will not stop until this world is consumed, or until we stop it." We rested briefly before continuing, the cavern's light fading as we left its depths. The battle had left me drained, but I felt something new as we climbed out of the gorge. Hope. The shard's light was stronger now, its connection to the ether deeper. And though the shadow loomed, its whispers clawing at the edges of my mind, I knew I wasn't powerless. As the sun set over the jagged peaks of the broken pass, I couldn't help but feel that we were one step closer to whatever lay ahead. The shadow was waiting, but so was the light, and I was ready to fight for it.